as, among other things, the economy and markets continue to crash as a direct consequence of his calamitous global trade war, his ridiculous trade war with China, and the ensuing uncertainty that both of these things create, Donald Trump just concluded another disastrous cabinet meeting in which it was fully displayed once again that he has no idea, no clue what the hell is going on in terms of the consequences the American people are suffering because of him. And his answers to questions about tariffs during this cabinet meeting were terrifyingly stupid. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, we have several clips to play in this video. We're going to start with these two because they're just emblematic of what this administration is, its nexus of incompetence and cruelty. It's a dangerous combination.
Well, thank you very much. You're really doing a great job. We appreciate it. Any question?
Mr. President, can you give us a reaction to today's stock market drop and also give us a sense of the next steps with China?
Well, I haven't seen it because I've been here for 2.5 hours, so I'll be seeing it. I think Scott went out. Scott, you want to have a...
So again, no clue that after he paused the tariffs, stock market's sugar high wore off and people are freaked out again because they don't know what the hell he's going to do or say or implement or not implement next. There is a fog of uncertainty that he has single-handedly created, and he's taken off guard by, what do you mean? The markets were crashing because of the tariffs, which I said wouldn't happen, but it did happen. So I blinked, I caved, I folded, I withdrew the tariffs. I said that the stock market's doing extremely well. You're telling me it's doing poorly? Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Scott, what do you have to say about it? Well, Scott Bessent's answer is atrocious, and I want you to listen to what he says, of course, but note his body language, note the tone of voice, because it looks like he's in a hostage video.
He's saying it. I think Scott went out. Scott, you want to have a statement on that?
Sure. Look, the up 2, down 1 is not a bad ratio, or up 10, down 5. And I think as we have talked about, as we go through the queue and settle with these countries who are going to bring us their best offers, we will end up in a place of great certainty over the next 90 days on tariffs. We had very good inflation numbers today. Oil's down. We had a successful bond market. So I don't see anything unusual today.
He's saying it.
Unbelievable, especially because so much of what he was talking about referred to reports and numbers from last month, March. This month, Scott, just in case you're wondering, just in case you're confused, because I understand MAGA Republicans struggle with the concept of linear time. This month is April. You appealing to things that happened in March before you imposed the tariffs, then paused the tariffs, and created this ensuing uncertainty and economic fallout doesn't mean anything. Like, it would be almost like you go to your doctor and your doctor tells you you're diabetic, and you say, well, a year ago I wasn't diabetic. What the hell does that have to do with anything, man? I must be in good shape, right? My health must be great because a year ago I wasn't diabetic, doctor. You said I wasn't diabetic a year ago. I am now. That must count for something, right? No, what's happening now? Moron now. I shouldn't say moron because Scott Bessent is a smart guy. He knows that he is defending the indefensible here. That's why it looked like a hostage video. Like, oh shit. Listen, up 2, down 1, up 10, down 5. Hey, that's no big deal, right? Like, that's cool. Would they ever accept that ratio if it were under the Biden administration or the Democrats? No. But as the conservative Wall Street Journal notes, stock sell-off accelerates as China trade war sinks. We've got other clips to play, but just to provide some context. Dow, NASDAQ retreat more than 4% after global stocks surge in response to Trump's partial tariff pause. U.S. stocks fell sharply Thursday as investors sort through a global economic outlook that remains uncertain despite drastic improvement over the past 48 hours. The declines accelerated after the Trump White House said, brace yourselves, the tariffs imposed on China by Trump in his second term add up to 145%, not the already high 125% previously indicated. Stocks then paired those losses in afternoon trading. The NASDAQ Composite, which posted its biggest gain in more than 2 decades on Wednesday, recently traded about 4.7% lower. The Dow Jones Industrial Average shed 1,200 points, or about 3%. Banks and stock and tech shares were hit hard, retracing some of Wednesday's epic gains. Wall Street's fear gauge, the CBOE Volatility Index, was rising, though far below levels of earlier this week. So, things were good or getting better because of Trump's partial tariff pause. And then again, there was a sugar high and it faded. And everyone's like, oh my God, we still exist in a fog of uncertainty and caprice because of this idiot, because of this moron. Here's some other clips. These two, by the way, from earlier in the cabinet meeting in which Trump is boasting about what happened yesterday, not realizing that as he's speaking, the stock market was cratering once again.
Prescription drug prices are even to down. We're doing very well. It's been amazing. We had a big day yesterday. There'll always be transition difficulty, but we had in history, it was the biggest day in history, the markets. So we're very, very happy with the way the country's running. Prescription drug.
Very happy with the way the country is running. So everything's good. Great day. Great day yesterday. Interesting. And then he talks about the potential costs, but how beautiful it will be that Americans have to pay this cost because on the other side, something truly remarkable.
And I went 4 years without inflation, and I tariffed. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China and others, taxes in China. But we took in hundreds of billions of dollars a year from China, and we had no inflation, essentially. So we think we're in very good shape. We think we're doing very well.
This is really stupid. Okay, a couple of reasons. Number one, the Trump tariffs on China, even conservative financial analysts have done the math on this, crunched the numbers. It was one of the biggest tax increases in American history. Number one. Number two, those tariffs were nothing in comparison to these tariffs, both in terms of the volume of the tariffs, right, in terms of how high the tariffs are, and in terms of what the tariffs cover. These are all Chinese imports, not surgical tariffs, not even surgically high tariffs on surgical goods. It's a very high, stratospherically high tariff on every Chinese import. So you appealing to what you did or what you think you did in your first term is irrelevant. And that's taking all your shit at face value. Again, it amounted to one of the biggest tax increases in American history. And the Trump administration actually had to engage in some of them commie liberal, Marxist subsidization. And then they actually had to use the federal government to subsidize the various farmers that were screwed over by Trump's tariffs. But again, facts don't matter. And you know what? To be fair to him, I'm going to be fair to him. He might not know any of that because he's a profoundly stupid and incurious person. He might not realize all the terrible shit that he did. Like, there are a lot of other malevolent actors out there who can play dumb. Donald Trump doesn't play dumb. He just is dumb. And he's also the most powerful man on earth. So, not great.
Mr. President, how close are you to the first country coming to actually make a deal with the United States over tariffs? Is it days, months?
Well, I think it's very close, but we have to have a deal that we like. We don't want a deal that's going to be a bad deal, or I could make every deal in one day if I wanted to. I could do this in one day. I could just say, here's what we'll do. And I was saying to the people before, to Scott, mostly to Scott.
I hope very soon, but I don't know. I mean, so again, total uncertainty. And he keeps up that notion of uncertainty and unpredictability with these next two clips.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said yesterday you were considering some exceptions for companies. Can you talk about what you're considering? And then also on the reciprocal tariffs, so they'd be substantially lower. Is the same math formula going to be used, or is that tossed out?
I'm not considering now for any country or company, but it's possible that I would. But I'm not. We don't have that situation right now.
So yeah, I might consider exemptions for certain countries and companies, but I'm not doing it right now. We don't have the situation right. So again, there's no predictability in all this. But you might think, okay, well, maybe he gives some sort of certainty. Maybe he offers some notion of comfort and predictability to investors and to the American people. You'd be wrong.
Mr. President, if you aren't able to reach the deals that you want to see at the end of the 90 days, will you put those higher tariffs in place, or will you extend? Well,
that's what would happen. I mean, if we can't make the deal that we want to make, or we have to make, or that's good for both parties, it's got to be good for both parties. And then we'd go back to where we were.
You'd go back to the numbers that you announced last week.
I think so.
You wouldn't extend the pause?
Yeah. We'll have to see what happens at that time.
Mr. President.
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to see what happens at this time. That's why, folks, this is why we're in the situation we're in. Again, it's not just about the tariffs, the punitive tariffs. They're bad enough, but it's not just about that. It's the uncertainty. No matter how Trump tries to spin this, it's just a bad place. I want to show one other thing here. I saw, right here. Noah Smith, economist, retweeted this. The miserable triple whammy begins again. Stocks down, 10-year bond yields up, dollar down. As Noah Smith, economist, notes, it ain't over, folks. And indeed it's not. So, again, I expect things will go up, go down, go up, go down, but the uncertainty, the volatility, and the ensuing chaos are solely the fault of Donald Trump. And in this disastrous cabinet meeting, he once again demonstrates he has no idea what the hell is going on, and he has no idea about what you and your loved ones are suffering and could potentially suffer even more as a direct result. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.